Greetings. This is your brother, Elder Blacklight. This is a court, so-called court, Minnesota. You're ready to try the devil that killed George Floyd. So they're going to give you this stimulus check in 3 weeks. Close to April Fool. We've been talking about the crucifixion. See, the whole thing is about the original Asiatic black man. The crucifixion is the crucifying of the black man. The resurrection is the dead. The story of Jesus is symbolic of the black man here in America. George Floyd, is fulfilling, not just George Floyd, but we all, the brothers over here, the wilderness of North America, is fulfilling the story that's in the Bible, in the Quran. It's all talking about the black man. We're getting ready to pick the jury selection. But I just want to say this seal right here, the seal of the state of Minnesota, ain't none of the American jurisdiction legitimate. But we are consenting to the authority through technology and brainwashing and physical abusement. They're trying to get our will away from us, but we're trying to fight back now. It's the 7th day. That's my daughter. She's coming in. But this series I'm making is going to be called The Truth in Plain Sight, Made for Dummies. The Truth Made for Dummies. You gotta know how to recognize the truth and know how to understand that this is all about the black man. We're in denial. We don't want to face the music. Let's listen to this.
Good morning, members of the jury panel. First of all, can you all hear me? All right, I'm getting nods of yes. If not, we have hearing assistance devices that are available. My name is Pete Cahill, and I am one of the judges of the district court. And you have been summoned as potential jurors in the case of State of Minnesota versus Derek Chauvin, which is a criminal case related to the death of George Floyd on May 25th, 2020. A person charged with a crime has a right to a fair trial before a fair judge, an impartial judge, and a fair and impartial jury. In order to make sure that the jurors who are selected are impartial, the law provides that the court and the attorneys may ask questions to all prospective jurors, which must be answered under oath. And first, thank you for filling out the questionnaire that was mailed to you and returning it. Your contribution to the important and serious matter at hand is best assured by continuing to provide full and complete answers to the questions that you will be asked today. These questions will follow up on issues from the questionnaire and possibly other topics. Now, after the questioning is over, the attorneys will have the right to excuse some of you from service on this jury, and I may excuse others of you for what we call cause. In either case, it does not mean that you are not a fair person, and you should not take offense in being excused. I also ask that you not take any offense at any question you may be asked. We must pry, to some extent, in order to explore opinions that you hold and to hear about experiences that you might have had that might affect your ability to serve in this case. The defendant, Mr. Chauvin, has been charged with murder in the second degree and manslaughter in the second degree. However, during trial, charges in the normal course might be added to or subtracted from these charges, but those are the charges as it stands. To the charges, the defendant has entered a plea of not guilty, which is a denial of each and every material allegation in the charges. And now I'm going to ask the participants to introduce themselves. In the individual questioning that follows, you will be asked if you know anyone here. So, starting with the state, and you can remove your mask to be introduced.
Thank you, Rick. Would you like me to introduce the whole team? Or,
Everyone can introduce themselves. Mr. Nelson can introduce his client.
Thank you very much. Good morning, jurors. My name is Steve Slisher on behalf of the state of Minnesota.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Christina Marinakis, and I'm here assisting with the prosecution.
Good morning. My name is Matthew Frank. I'm an Assistant Attorney General on behalf of the state. Good morning. Keith Ellison on behalf of the state.
And for the defense.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric Nelson. I represent Mr. Derek Chauvin. This is my client, Mr. Derek Chauvin. Behind me is my assistant, Amy Voss.
Thank you. Now, there may be other attorneys who are present for this case for the state, including Aaron Eldridge, Jerry Blackwell, and possibly other people who work for the Minnesota Attorney General's office. So, is there anyone on the panel, just by raising your hand, who knows somebody from the Minnesota Attorney General's office? Okay, no hands. Does anyone know Mr. Nelson or had any dealings with his office? Okay, no hands. And is anyone familiar with the defendant, Mr. Chauvin? Okay, no hands. You were given a long list of potential witnesses in this case, and hopefully you had a chance to review it sufficiently, because you'll be asked individually whether or not you know or are acquainted with any of those potential witnesses. Now, one of the things the attorneys may not do in jury selection is to instruct you on the law, but I do want you to be aware of some of the basic concepts that apply in all criminal cases so that you may keep them in mind as you answer the court's and the attorney's questions. I will instruct you as follows. First, the charges against the defendant are not evidence, and they create no inference of guilt. No member of the jury should in any way permit himself or herself to be prejudiced against the defendant because a charge has been made against him or because he has been placed on trial. The defendant is presumed innocent of the charges made against him, and in order for you to find the defendant guilty, the state must prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The defendant does not have to prove his innocence. The presumption of innocence remains with the defendant throughout the trial unless and until he has been proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt according to the law and the evidence admitted at trial. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt is such proof as ordinarily prudent persons would act upon in their most important affairs. A reasonable doubt is a doubt based upon reason and common sense. It does not mean a fanciful or capricious doubt, nor does it mean beyond all possibility of doubt. Now, if you serve on this jury, you and your fellow jurors